Welcome to our 5 on 5. Pleased to be joined by Senator Ron Wyden at his home in Portland. Senator, thanks for taking the time.
Hey, thanks for having me, Craig.
Our pleasure. So I do want to ask you something that just came in from the Oregon Democratic delegation, a letter that the delegation is requesting answers on reported mistreatment of Oregon National Guard service members. What have you heard, sir?
We've been very concerned because these Guard members are true heroes. I mean, they help out with everything from fighting fires to COVID, and they deserve the best, and we're committed to making sure they get it. And we've heard about a variety of issues relating to their treatment, certainly questions with respect to payments that they are owed. And we have particularly written the point person, General Stencil, to make sure that we get answers and get them quickly.
Another item just landed on my list this morning. The Labor Department reporting today, consumer prices increased slightly more than expected in September as food and energy price rises offset declines in used cars. With job numbers lagging, how concerned are you right now about the state of our economy?
Well, first of all, I think this can be attributed primarily to these supply side disruptions. And the president's made it clear, for example, on the West Coast, he's going to make real changes with respect to what happens in Los Angeles. Now, there are real implications for the Valley. The Valley has got a lot of senior citizens, and senior citizens are going to get a 5.9% increase in their Social Security. And that's something that is really going to help them. And we saw a number of years ago when we were faced with similar kinds of challenges that making sure that seniors are protected when you have economic challenges like these supply side disruptions are a real priority, especially for the Valley.
Of course, that leads me to infrastructure. Those negotiations still ongoing across the aisle and within your own party. What do Democrats need to do to get the ball across the goal line?
What we're doing now, and the Senate Finance Committee has a big role to play, is to try to focus on priorities. I mean, we all remember it wasn't very long ago, for example, that it was 115 in our state, 115 degrees in the summer. So I have the linchpin of the climate agenda. My legislation says that with respect to the tax code in the future, when companies actually reduce carbon emissions, they'd be eligible for savings. This is the first time in more than 100 years the tax code has actually been tied to real results. And in this instance, it's tied to reducing carbon emissions, which are such a significant part of the climate challenges we've been having.
Senator, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll have much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Senator Ron Wyden at his home in Portland. Senator, you and Senator Merkley and some of your colleagues urging the Biden administration to increase wildland firefighter pay. Now, I remember the president saying he wanted to do this early in the summer. Why hasn't that happened yet?
Well, certainly it is long overdue. I've been pushing this for a long time. It's one of the 2 or 3 things that I think are especially important. I was able to end fire borrowing, so we didn't see the prevention monies raided. Now I'm focused in 2 areas, particularly promoting prescribed burns. We saw in Sisters, for example, that prescribed burn up there really saved the town. And then we absolutely have to get these firefighting salaries increased for our workers. They're so deserving, and it's another step towards professionalizing those who do so much to keep our communities safe from these infernos.
I know we have Secretary of the Interior Deb Haaland here in the Rogue Valley tomorrow. You and Senator Merkley announced the passage of major funding for wildfire response and drought relief just 2 weeks ago. What does that mean for Klamath farmers?
What that means for the farmers is they're going to get real assistance in terms of trying to deal with these really difficult, challenging times. I mean, you have the combination of the heat and the drought and fires, and all of a sudden somebody drops a match, you have a lightning strike, you've got real problems, and this aid goes directly to helping farmers meet their expenses.
I think it also affects people impacted by the Alameda and other fires in Oregon around Labor Day last year. What does it do to help them?
Well, what we're trying to do is get at the backlog of all these kinds of claims, and this is trying to help them with some of their expenses as well. I mean, the fact of the matter is that we have seen a lot of these folks try to get through, try to have their claims addressed. They haven't been able to do it. This is going to make sure that we can speed up that process and get them help.
I know we've got a lot going on before the end of this year, but what are your goals for 2022?
Well, my goals for 2022 is keep strengthening the economy. For example, healthcare, and this is to a great extent driven by COVID. I mean, what we've seen is one independent economist after another says that dealing with the Delta variant is the biggest single challenge we have for the economy. What I'm trying to do is get help, for example, to our healthcare providers, Asante in Southern Oregon, St. Charles in Central Oregon, getting them help with their workers and assistance so that we can do more to make sure that that folks are, as many as possible, are getting vaccinated, and we've got treatment for those in need. And right now, without the extra workers, it's hard, for example, for folks who have non-COVID illnesses to get treated.
Senator, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.